Hi, I'm Liane Carter, author of The Chronicles of Joya. I'm also a singer-songwriter. Check out the website www.lianecarter.com for music downloads and more exciting stuff on the book. Planet Joya is home to an elite group called Switchers. They travel to Earth every 6 weeks, and they transform into humans and animals. Teal is smart and ambitious. She's desperate to be a switcher. Despite the warnings from her dad and her spirit guide, she joins the team. But on her first assignment, she faces death and the devastation of her red and purple planet. Here's an extract. Chapter 1. Teal struggled towards the cave door, practically dragging her dad along the floor. His teeth clung to her cottontail. "Dad, get off me!" He released his jaws and spat out some fluff. Teal dashed across the sitting room, but he bolted in front of her. He sat up on his hind legs and leaned against the door. "You're not doing it." "Dad, please!" Teal shot a glance at the clock above the door. Her dad folded his arms across his chest. "Teal, there's a reason why there are no rabbit switchers. Darcy Meyer isn't racist when it comes to rabbits, and she isn't scared." "I wouldn't be scared either if I was a great Doberman and second seat on the Meyer Council." Her dad's white fur twitched and his black eyes glistened. Teal looked like a smaller model, but he said she had the spirit of her mother. He never meant it as a compliment. "I could be down on Earth helping people. You should be proud." "Your mother got shot down there. You think I want to lose you too?" "I'm not her. I've been trained." "Against earthy dogs? Earthy humans? They're hunters down there. They hunt us." Teal sighed. Her dad was happy with his life on Joya, but she wanted more. She wanted to fly right off this red and purple planet and explore the huge, colourful Earth Freddie Meyer sang about. She'd worked her paws off for months to get down there. "Darcy wouldn't train me if she didn't think I'd be safe," she said. "She can't train you if you don't turn up, can she? I'll guard this door day and night if I have to. You're not going." Teal glared at him. "You wouldn't even know if Brian hadn't blabbed." "You'd do well to be more like him. Your cousin doesn't betray his father." "Yeah, right." Honest Brian had been sneaking off to switcher training with Teal every morning for months, until he got thrown out of the programme a week ago for cheating in an exam. Brian had known she had a shot and waited until the last day to ruin it. Teal wanted to sink her teeth into his floppy ears. "It's what I've wanted my whole life, Dad. Please, just—" "How many times do I have to say it? You're not going." She heard the distant sound of the last horn for trainees. Even if you had a paw falling off or blood spurting out from a major vein, you still went to switcher training. To miss the last horn meant instant failure. In Darcy's mind, lateness showed disrespect. "You have your whole life ahead of you, Teal. I know it seems important now, but—" "Don't you get it? I'm dying in here. I want to make something of myself, get away from the caves. I could be the first rabbit switcher, the first ever. I hate it here. I hate you." Teal threw herself to the floor and sobbed. Tears soaked her fur. She heard a creak, wiped her paws across her face, and looked up. Her dad had opened the door and stepped aside. Teal looked at him. The expression on her father's face made her heart sink. How could she have said it? "Dad, I—" She sniffed, went to him, and put her paw on his arm. He pushed it away. "Let the great Darcy Meyer protect you." Teal's heart shriveled under his glare. "Go on, get out." Her dad slammed the door behind her. She looked over her shoulder. In one morning, she hadn't just lost her chance to become a switcher. She'd lost her dad, too. She dragged herself from the cave. She walked along the red sandy trail, kicking dust into the purple fields on either side. Her dad's words from years ago filled her mind. The red paths of Joya get darker towards the caves, so you can always find your way home, Teal. She struck out at the red sand and it flew up in her face. She coughed, shook her head and dug a paw in her ear to scrape the sand out. She walked on, muttering under her breath. The lilac mountains stood in the distance. To climb one had been her dream once. The first time she reached the top, she had sat back on her haunches, puffed out her chest and beamed at the beauty of the planet. When had it stopped seeming beautiful to her? Teal heard an engine and looked up in the sky. Oh no! Freddie Meyer, fifth seat on the Meyer Council, was flying straight towards her on his custom-made red and black Harley Sportster. She looked around at nothing but open purple fields. Teal bit her lip and thanked the great eagles Darcy hadn't come in person. Freddie landed. He pressed a switch and the stabilizer shot out. He jumped off the bike, brushed down the fur on his arms and strutted over to Teal. A chocolate-brown ferret, Freddie Meyer always wore shades over his red eyes. His headphones never left his ears. Some Meyers said he even showered in them. Freddie had been a cave dweller, and look what he had accomplished. #1 in the Joya charts, Freddie's rap music was better than anyone's. "What are you thinking, man?" Freddie said. "Darcy's doing her crunch over at the Switcher Centre. No point going in just to be told to go home. You got to learn some respect, girl. Don't be dissing Darcy. She can be a mean old dog." "It's not my fault. My dad found out. Brian ratted me out. Dad wouldn't let me leave the cave, and we had a fight, and I told him I hated him, and now he's thrown me out and he doesn't want me." Freddie let out a whistle. "You swing for the fence, don't you, girl?" Teal buried her chin. Freddie strutted back to the Harley. He ran up the side and started the engine. "Come on, man," he said. "What?" "Exit interview. You have to face her. If you want to walk, it's your loss, man." Teal's eyes lit up. A chance to fly on a Meyer Council motorbike, although in her best dreams she always flew a rocket. "Hop up this way or you'll burn up your paws on the pipes." Freddie flicked his head. "I rushed off with no helmets, so no grassing me up." Teal nodded and jumped onto the bike. She felt tall. The deep sound of the engine filled her ears and vibrated through her body. They rushed into the air so fast her stomach flipped. The thrill made her fur tingle and her heart soar. Thanks for listening.